He's very popular, he's got a huge support base, but can he come back from a defeat like that?
It's one of the biggest stunners in British boxing.
There is no guidebook on how to take a loss in a sport where winning is everything.
I'll battle fight tomorrow and still prove everyone wrong. I can be a world champion.
A sport where the dark shadow of a loss clouds the imagination from a previously gleaming pathway to the top. However, where some struggle to vision what comes next, a loss for others has sparked the beginning of greatness.
Low. And here we go, it's bombs away time now.
Let's not forget, as professionals, Hopkins and Marquez lost their very first fights. Within just a year, Pacquiao took a loss, and in 2, so did Sergio Martinez. 4 names that combined spent over 90 years in the professional game, reaching the highest echelons of the sport.
Before I leave this game, y'all gonna see the best fights of Bernard Hopkins' career. It's gonna be breathtaking, and it's gonna be a heartbeat.
And whilst it wasn't so early in his career, one man's awakening instead came during his swift rise to world level. Though ever since that night, true to the narrative, Amir Khan has sought legacy over money and risk over comfort.
Turning to the ring on July the 14th.
In the best shape of our life. A while ago.
Rolling the dice once again against the very best the sport has to offer, a man who stands as arguably the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, a switch hitter, able to fight just as well going forwards as he can backwards, a 3-weight champion, yet to taste defeat, and yet to take a backward step. Terence "Bud" Crawford. So in a matchup that sees 2 of the fastest and most agile welterweights collide, can Khan still trouble boxing's elite? Or can Crawford make even more of a case that he is boxing's hottest asset? Welcome to Crawford vs. Khan, a Motivedia presentation.
We know the animosity is real. We've seen you punish guys who talk. What do you expect to do to Jose Benavidez tomorrow night?
Same thing everybody else got.
Making the first defense of his WBO title in October, we watched Terence Crawford outclass David Benavidez before violently putting him away in the 12th. A bout turned grudge match that taught us a few things about the Nebraska native. Displaying a mean streak that started before the opening bell and didn't really end after the final bell. Accurate, slick, and decisive, he backed up every word.
Benavidez came to win. He taught him a lesson, and he ended it the best way you could end it, by knockout.
Showing that his stamina, even up at welterweight, is without question. And proving that whether you wobble in round 1, round 6, or round 12, he will pounce. Humble in character, much like his British opponent, Crawford prefers to let his skills do the talking. From his ingrained discipline, work ethic, and natural flair, it's clear the American is a special fighter. 2 years ago, he became only the 2nd boxer of the 4-belt era to unify all the titles.
Crawford is the undefeated, undisputed champion of the world.
And with his eyes now on clearing out the welterweight division, he has little room for error.
Oh, we here. You know, like I said, my power carried up. You know, my physicality got stronger, and we here now.
34 fights into an 11-year pro career, Bud seems to look better each time out.
Cracked him with a hard left hand.
Crucial experience, especially considering the man who stands opposite him on April 20th is equally, if not more, familiar with the bright lights himself. Finally, back where he belongs. Sharp, motivated, and ready to have one last shot at the big time, Amir Khan prepares to be the underdog for only the second time in his career.
Everyone's probably expecting you to go in there and lose. But I really feel that I've got the skill, I've got the speed, I've got the power, and I've got the size in this fight.
Though back under the guidance of Virgil Hunter, he claims to see weaknesses in what he calls a very beatable champion.
By beating Crawford, what take me to a different level is a fight that will set my legacy and make me a legend in the sport of boxing.
And back down at welterweight, where he claimed wins over such names as Calarzo, Alexander, and Algieri, Khan has never been beaten.
Amir Khan sparkles in the golden tower of Mandalay Bay. He dazzles in the desert.
From the streets of Bolton, humbled by his faith and driven by his ambition, Amir Khan is a man that can hold his head high. From his amateur glory, never ducking a tough fight, to achieving his wildest dreams on the biggest stage.
Amir Khan brings a threat to anybody. A guy that's willing to go up 2 weight classes. And as I said, cross the street to get there.
From Khan, and a great body shot. Down this Winona. He's crippling in pain.
A true roller coaster career has seen the Olympic silver medalist spend the best part of 10 years at world level, sharing the ring with some of boxing's biggest stars.
Smaller, faster fighter walking a tightrope against the bigger, stronger guy, so far successfully.
Classic boxer versus classic puncher.
Now, under no illusions, the Brit claimed he may only have a few fights left. So with the heart, combinations, and speed to match any welterweight, we can expect fireworks at Madison Square Garden.
Those legs that he used to have, that darting in and out and that quick to the trigger gunslinger style can give Crawford problems, but it's all in really what does Amir have left.
Having been here before, Khan will not be starstruck on fight night. He considers his resume to be light years ahead of the Americans, claiming that he too would be undefeated had he faced Crawford's opponents.
But one thing about Amir Khan is when the pressure's on, when he's up against it, that's when he performs his best.
True or not, even at this stage of his career, beating Khan on the 20th would be Crawford's biggest win to date.
He's a good fighter. He's very fast. He moves well. He got a lot of experience in big fights as well. He boxes real good.
And whilst he won't be the biggest puncher Khan has faced, nor the most slippery or awkward, he may be the best all-rounder the Brit has ever shared a ring with. The two shared just one mutual opponent, Brady's Prescott, the first man to derail Khan's rise to the top. Size-wise, there's not much to separate the two. Crawford has a few inches reach, where Khan has a very slight height advantage. Just 1 year separates the two fighters, with Khan being considered to have much more mileage on the clock.
Khan, in the big fights, always finds a way somewhere along the line to make a mistake.
And yet, sometimes watching you, it feels like your heart gets in the way of your head.
No doubt, just like every other big fight, Khan could steal a few early rounds with his blistering hand speed.
Balance more than...
However, how much he slows mid-fight and how strong Crawford comes on will dictate how the fight plays out.
Khan is a bad boy too, but Terence Crawford, man, he's just...
Though the majority opinion amongst boxing fans only sees it ending one way.
Amir Khan is fast and strong, but I think Crawford wins by knockout.
In a booming welterweight division, we've seen plenty of action. Porter beating Ugas, Spence beating Garcia, Thurman beating Lopez, Pacquiao beating Broner. And also the 20th, Danny Garcia faces Granados.
They don't want to see Bud Crawford.
None of them want to see Bud.
I think Bud is the best boxer in the business.
Two fighters with very different stakes. For Khan, nothing to lose and everything to gain. For Crawford, the opportunity to send a warning beacon to the rest of the division. And with one eye on the Spence mega fight, arguably the biggest in the entire sport, expect a relentless pace, a show of skills, and expect the killer instinct to reemerge. Terence Crawford versus Amir Khan.